Well, hello and welcome to unMadeGaming, guys. And these smiling faces means that it is Wednesday and it is time for Blades in the Dark 6 and 20. And we are here with the Giggle Fits and Shame. We'll start first with Shame. Slade, who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you so shameful? And who are you playing tonight?
Fucking, you need to record the past 2 minutes of your shows before.
Who says I'm not? So, Slade, who are you? What are you doing
you
here?
know who I am. I turn trader, the good guy. Am I a good guy? Probably not. I'm going to screw everyone over. We're going to see. Let's have fun.
That's fair. Those are all
Twitch
things you've
and
done. On Twitch and Twitter. Speaking of Twitch and Twitter, Greg, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing tonight?
I am Greg, Grimjack21502 on Twitch and Twitter, everybody, in case you didn't know. I'm here enjoying myself, logging on to Roll20, getting ready to play this wonderful game called Blades in the Dark, seeing where we end up, seeing exactly how bad we can either screw up or screw Duskfall and save ourselves. I'm here to win it. I'm in it. Let's finish it.
Sweet. We'll jump over to the one who has consecutively screwed Nyx over as much as Bowerstone. Miss Ginger Ninja, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing today?
I'm Miss Ginger Ninja. I can't stop laughing. We really do need to stream our pre-show or video record our pre-show talks just for later reflection.
For posterity.
Yeah, I run mostly video games and things like that over on my channel. Starting to do a little bit more Blades. And you can actually start catching me on Kelsify's channel starting this Sunday for a new Blades in the Dark.
Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't she doing another one on Sunday, too? She's doing, Johnny, what's the other one?
The one that she's starting, I'm in.
What's the not Blades in the Dark game? The Fantasy Blades in the Dark.
That's what it is. I'm saying Blades in the Dark because I don't know what it's actually called.
Wait, Fantasy Blades in the Dark? You mean?
Yeah, it's not Scum and Villainy. It's not Blades in the Dark. It's
Blades Against the Dark?
no, something else.
Oh, Band of Blades.
Band of Blades.
Hey guys,
Band
I
of-
remembered eventually.
Yeah.
So Band of Blades is a military campaign one.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to play that yet. I really want to try that. I can't wait to. I'm gonna have to watch that and cheer and throw shit at throw shit at the DM to throw against you or something. Because that sounds like fun.
Feel free to do that. I haven't read the PDF, so I don't know how the game works either.
Nice. Speaking of reading and not reading PDFs, we'll go over to Johnny. Who are you? What are you doing here? How many more games can you run that I don't read the PDFs? And what are we doing tonight?
Are you saying that you haven't read the PDF for this game?
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Okay. What about the next game?
No, I haven't read that one either.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
To be fair,
guys, I quit Shroud wins.
I also haven't read Tales from the Loop.
Can you say any of them? Can you just say any of them?
Yeah, like any of the games you've run.
I know you haven't read any Cthulhu. So.
No, I haven't even I don't even own a book of Cthulhu. I haven't even cracked open a book. I don't even own it.
Do you even 5e, bro?
I ran Curse of Shroud and I didn't even
I ran
open that
that.
book. I didn't open that book either.
And I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perfect introduction. We need to get going. You guys are fucked anyways. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So we need to get started. Who cares who I am?
Fantastic. Guys, remind you before we turn things over to Johnny, all the ways you can interact with the show. If you look along the bottom, you can see our followers, subscribers, retweets. Every time you hit that, the players and the DM will get a positive boon. You can check the donation section down below for all the things you can donate for, or type in !bit_D in chat. And last but not least, we have 3 days left for our giveaway for this sweet unMadeGaming dice box. If you guys want in, !giveaway in the chat. And Johnny, take us away to the mean straits of Duskfall.
So last time we hung out with the Shroud, there was a fair bit of activity around Raymond Bowerstone, as Mr. Bowerstone had set things in motion to cause problems for Steam and the Crows. And subsequently, they came looking for him, and there was this amazing, miraculous change. There was this this life-changing conversation with the father of Raymond Bowerstone in spirit form by Steam, and all of a sudden, Raymond's a good guy. They need him. They care about him. It was the quickest turnaround in history for a character story arc, going from bad to good again, and now we find ourselves with Raymond Bowerstone. Friend of the Shroud, friend of everybody at the table. With all of you heading back to the Crow's Nest, you make a new attempt at looking at the 4 pieces of paper that you get from the back of the book, and it started the actual ritual. Steam, in his wisdom, decided that his flock would be up there with him, and they became enraptured in some way and connected to the ritual. And so now they're kind of swaying, and talking, in weird tones, through as a conduit. And where we found ourselves last is Steam declaring, we're in the end game here, folks. There's something going on. To which then OC was visited by the old woman who told her it was time. And so that's where we'll open up, the top of the crow's nest. 4 of you standing there, kind of looking around at the situation, trying to figure out what you're going to do next. And OC is being prompted to make her way to the ritual that will imbue her with everything that is the Dimmer Sisters, or that was the Dimmer Sisters. So how do you guys want to begin?
OC's gonna follow them. Fuck it. I think she's still drunk, right?
I would assume so. I mean, really, no time has passed whatsoever. And then Steam also, I guess, sees this spirit show as well. So, I mean, do you just let her go?
Now wait, catch me up here. I mean, they came to pick her up and fetch her to the
old woman. The old woman that she had a conversation with came and told her that it was time.
Okay, right. And then we ended that. And wasn't there a time span that once the ritual started, it had to be completed within a certain
1 hour?
Right. So we have to get demon blood. What all do we have to get, guys? Demon blood.
Demon blood.
People blood.
Demon blood, people blood, Leviathan blood, and something else that we didn't figure out what it was.
Hold on, we're talking about 2 different rituals here, right? We're talking about
right. We're talking about 2 different rituals. We're talking about there's the Dimmer Sister rituals ritual at the estate of the former estate of the Dimmer Sisters.
That's
and we're
correct.
Talking about the crow's nest, top of the crow's nest ritual.
That's correct.
The pages told us that we need 4 different things to presumably put upon the symbol that we already kind of sort of saw, and we kind of sort of put that together as being part of the symbol. That we need to have on the grounds, or we need a much bigger place. We need to find a big place that has all this shit, just like they were doing it at the park. Chaos.
That's correct.
All of a sudden, we've turned into fucking chaos, but that's all right.
Well, so which ritual are you talking about? Because I don't remember us clearly defining that, as a part of the story, that there was only an hour from the start. At least not the ritual that you're talking about there. We may have had that conversation because that was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and I don't remember kind of establishing that. But yeah, if there's a timeline that was established for one of those rituals, I don't remember. It's not in my notes.
Then there isn't a time frame. Shh.
Hey,
I did mention that I heard something about one of the ingredients, right? Or something.
We definitely know that for the apocalypse ingredients, it's demon blood, Leviathan blood, people blood, and something else.
Oh.
Damn it.
sorry. I'm sorry. I got it back as quick as possible. Wrong buttons. Buttons. The buttons are terrible. Don't
Guys,
listen
this
to
is
buttons.
where we can't have nice things.
Guys, if you ever wonder
You're
why
not
we're
me.
late,
Get out of there.
if you ever wonder why we're late, just blame Johnny.
Wait, I
Hashtag
want to be
blame
Steam.
Johnny.
Keep it. I want to be Steam. I'll be Steam.
You can follow Xmas
I wanna be
on Twitch and Twitter.
Why don't we just
Anytime you want to shut the fuck up, Slade.
God damn it.
I can put a cape on and be Steam.
So yeah, those were the ingredients we had. We didn't know what the 4th one was. And then your ghost mom came to...
If anything, she's like my great grandma.
Yeah. Bibbidi bobbidi ghost dad.
Ghost Mom. Wait a minute. So is it Felicia Richard instead of Bill Cosby?
Yes.
Is that where we're going with?
God damn
That
it.
it's Ghost Mom?
No, I want her to be fuck, what's her name? I'll be back. To the Googles.
I'll be back.
So is the sister taking her away? Is that what's happening right here?
The sister is telling her that it's time for the ritual to begin. She told the sister told her that would be that she would come for her when it was time, and that time has come. So,
Well, Steam's definitely going to go with her. But we need to find out what that fourth ingredient is.
I may be able to figure it out with my ghost brain once the ritual's over. Guys, I'm just assuming a lot here.
I was going to say smell a lot.
There's a fair bit of meta to support. I mean, there's a fair bit of meta to support the fact that you probably will be able to figure it out if you take on this.
And with the flashback, I'm sure she'd be like, "Sure, I could do anything."
You know, the whole Felicia Richard thing is just, yeah. Anyway,
Fuck! I just closed the window. McCallahan, the Golden Girls, McClanahan, that one.
Rue
That's
McClanahan?
in my head. That's how I pictured her. Shut up.
Well, maybe it's Betty White. She's got that.
Oh fuck you! No, I'm Betty White in like fucking 30 years. Come on now.
What about Blanche?
Hey, I liked Blanche.
Anyway,
Bowerstone, if he's alive, can be Blanche.
Bowerstone is Blanche.
Okay, so what's going on here? She's looking expectantly towards OC at this point.
Yeah, OC is just gonna start following. See you guys on the other side.
I'm coming.
Are you?
Yes.
Should you?
Yep.
Do you? And she's just gonna point at the children. I've had enough to drink that I can absolutely still take care of myself. And I'll make sure I don't die or anything. So I'll be fine. But the children
We'll be fine.
will they? And she's just gonna in front of the closest one's face.
They don't seem upset.
Oh God. Okay. Can he come? She's asking.
She's already starting to leave, so
Oh,
the assumption
she's-
that you can bring whoever you want, I would, or at least my assumption as you know, third party bar standard, you can bring whoever you want.
I'm gonna look to Steam. Fine, but grab Nye. This was part of the deal.
Yes, Miss OC. Steam will turn to Nyx, and he will say, perhaps when she gains the knowledge of the ancients, or whatever it is that she's going to inherit, perhaps she will be able to help you with your metamorphosis.
I would hope so, but we are on a timetable, and the gears are turning, so I don't know what the hell this is, but... And he kind of looks to OC, says, make it quick?
I'll go with her. Why don't you take Bowerstone and, I don't know.
I doubt I can do scene with him. There's the whole
Yeah.
prison thing.
Conveniently, he likes to wear masks.
That's true. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Meet back here.
Yes.
Or not. I may explode wherever I'm going, but
That's true. If you do explode, please let me know.
I will.
Do it on your own time. She's all the way ahead, just yelling at you down the stairs.
I have to catch up to Miss OC now.
It's driving Miss OC.
And so I assume you pick up Nye along the way down, and then the three of you exit to follow the old woman towards.
Yeah, I will give instructions to Gillis to care for the children, that something has taken over them. They are to be protected and kept safe, dry, warm, all that good stuff until we can figure out what the F's going on. And then...
Okay, so we'll say that you guys are beginning off in that direction. We're going to cut back to Nyx and Bowerstone. What are you guys doing, or what is the plan to do?
Fuck if I know. So
Would
I
you
know,
like me to conveniently throw you a plot point?
Sure. I know. I mean, I know we have to find out what the fourth ingredient is. And I know Nyx has some shit to do with killing the entire Northrop Company and dying in the process. Johnny, refresh my memory. Did the Pendrins get back to him about the spirit bounce?
They did not, but that would be the convenient plot point that I would throw at you. If
Okay,
you'd like
yeah,
it.
because I mean he's waiting for that. So if you have that ready to rock.
Well,
and roll,
so
I'll take that.
as Steam and OC and Nye's the body that it basically contains the conglomeration of Nye and all of her spirits, a rook messenger comes in for you and gives you a very simple response. Yes. Do you remember the price that we talked about? Please come to discuss the consequence of that
Yeah, so
they give you a time within the next hour to meet at the Archive of Echoes.
Okay. He takes this information and he turns to whoever the hell Bowerstone is and says, I have another appointment inside the Archive of Echoes, which reminds me that perhaps we could rediscuss your current state of existence. Perhaps someone there knows how to fix whatever the hell is wrong with you.
I suppose.
It's worth a
I
try.
really... Okay.
I mean, killing you didn't quite go as I planned, but...
You mind if we stop off home first?
Are you gonna
No.
do anything weirder than normal?
I can't really be seen with you.
Yes,
you
I would
know.
assume you could get your suit or whatever, and then
Yeah.
reconvene. So why don't you
Okay.
leave, and then we'll meet at the archive.
I'll meet you there. I'll bring muffins.
That's a plan. Nope, be strange. Good, get out before you say more weird things.
Okay, so the fact that the two of you are splitting is interesting in and of itself.
Is it?
So I'll handle the both of you, or I'll handle each of you individually just with this particular question. Is there anything that Nyx is going to do prior to going to the Archive of Echoes?
Where is the Northwood Company? Their
Northwood
main
Company's
headquarters
main building is in the docks.
is in the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me look at my...
They are a shipping and receiving company, or at least that is their front of their business.
Yeah.
So you would expect them to be as close to that as possible.
Right. Let me just double down here and see what we have. No, I don't have anything. That would be useful.
What are you thinking you want to do?
Nothing. I was looking at like what we have for like crew perks and the people we've made friends with. That might be helpful, but I don't think anyone would be helpful. I don't think the Hive would be incredibly helpful in this endeavor.
Okay.
Especially since I kind of already put the feelers out there for what Bowerstone's about to do, like the Alderman raid on this thing. Yeah, so he just kind of casually makes his way towards the Archive of Echoes.
All right. Bowerstone, is there anything particular you're going to do besides grab a different outfit? And what outfit are you grabbing if that's all you're doing?
Just specifically grabbing an outfit. I'll grab the original, season 1 original.
Going OG.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll cut to OC, Steam, and Nye making their way to the estate. When you arrive there, you can see that the massive structure that was the mansion is no longer there. So as you're entering the gates, you can see that the burned and charred remains of the house and the brush around it are all just sort of settling into ash, right? And the ground is just sort of barren, except for the tree that you can find off to the right side of the property that would have been on the right side of the house if you were approaching it from the front. OC would know this as the tree that served as actually a spirit well for a lot of rogue spirits that the Dimmer Sisters had collected. And so it is under this spirit well that they are currently congregating, and that there was a ritual started with 4 possessed bodies operating the various elements of this particular ritual. And there is a circle, and there is a dais kind of constructed out of this circle that they've built, and then there is like a small like stone platform to which they are requesting that you lay on. And as you show a little bit of hesitation, the eldest sister, the one that's been the one that you've been talking to, the elder, the old woman, this is all part of the ritual. To begin, we must begin the infusion.
You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. Steam, let Mr. Bowerstone know that he's probably not getting this shirt back. And she's just gonna crawl up, make herself comfortable.
So as you come into the center of the circle and you begin to lay down on this, you get a chance to look around you, and you see that there are the 4 possessed bodies. And once you enter the circle, you can see the difference between the possessed body spirit and the actual spirit. It's almost like you've automatically attuned by entering this particular circle. I have to ask this one question. Steam, with Nyes in the possessed body, where do you stand? Do you try to enter the circle with her? What are you doing here?
I keep her outside the circle unless, I mean, their job is to, at some point, fix her as part of all this. But inside that circle is no bueno. So we're going to stay outside of the circle unless called for.
Okay.
And he would take a moment to look over at Nye, and he would just say, Mary, if you're in there, I want you to know you were always my favorite.
There is a playful smile that plays across Nye's face very quickly as it disappears, and you just catch a hint of the blue eyes before it vanishes back to brown. From behind the tree walks a 5th, and this time a woman, very young, also possessed, as she just kind of moves around, and she steps up as the 4 women that are in, or the 4 people that are in the circle that are representing the ritual. This 5th one, they're chanting and they're doing various things. This one approaches you, kind of steps to your head, and reaches out like this and says, "To begin, we must first prepare your soul. This will be a little weird and a little uncomfortable. Once this begins, though, we cannot turn back. Are you sure?"
I am sure.
And her hands come down, and they touch the side of your head for just a second, as you can feel the 4 fingers and the thumbs sort of touch various pressure points on your skull, on your head, and then kind of come back, and you feel this electric energy. And at that moment, your entire life begins to play before your eyes in an exaggerated fashion. And it is at that moment that everything freezes around Steam. And you hear the voice of the old man as he steps from behind you. It is time for you to make your decision.
I'm busy now, old man.
I know. And that is why it is time for you to make a choice.
What's on the table, Judge?
What you see in front of you is one of your choices.
Possession? Saturation by a million different voices? That's what I see in front of me, but that is OC's path.
It may be her choice to accept this fate, but it's your choice to see the consequence of it. But this is one choice. Do you allow her to do anything, to do what is about to happen? And at that moment, there's a flash, and you're on top of the Crow's Nest Tower, and you see the children there. Or do you choose this? And at that moment, you are able to look out and down below you, and you see that there are people there are 4 individuals who have moved towards the Crow's Nest Tower very stealthily, who are placing things around the Crow's Nest.
Is this happening right now, old man?
At the same time. And this is your choice. Do you sacrifice this and save her and potentially save everyone? Or do you act selfishly and save them and leave her to her fate to ultimately be the ruin of yours?
OC or me is the bottom line.
OC or humanity. The choice is yours. This is the last time I will see you, though. Your decision will determine what happens next.
May I ask you a question, old man?
Always.
It is your duty to judge me, old man.
No.
Are you?
My duty is to offer you a choice.
Are you my friend? My teacher, my mentor.
I've never been asked that before.
I'm asking you now.
The answer is, in a fashion.
Hmm.
But ultimately, I offer you a choice. And it is based on your decision that determines the fate of the world.
So if I sacrifice the crow's nest, my flock, and stay here with OC, that is the choice of humanity? And if I go and protect them, that is the choice of selfishness. Is that correct?
Nothing is ever that clear.
Exactly.
But you still have a choice in front of you.
I do. And I will make it. But, my friend, I offer you a choice as well. You have given me instruction, hints. Show me something now. Maybe this is where the cycle changes. Maybe this is where a divergence happens and something truly great becomes manifest.
That is your choice, not mine.
I will make mine, but I will pose one to you. It is your choice to listen or to act. I shall stay here. I shall follow the path that I believe to be right, that I have known since I laid eyes on OC. That it is together we will ascend, we will save this place. But here's my choice for you, old friend. You go to the nest. You save the children. That is your choice. I have made mine. Now perhaps you can make yours.
You think that this is a morality tale.
I do not.
You think to challenge me. Now let me explain to you. And he comes up and he touches you. And when he touches you, you feel the true spark of divinity. That is what it means to be divine, is to have a choice and to make the right one. My decision was made long ago, and I was told to come here and give it to you for your choice. Good luck. And he fades.
And into the wind, he says, old friend, your job's not over yet.
So, Steam, you have a choice before you. You are in two places at once. You can see that something is going to sabotage the crow's nest. And you can see that the situation happening in front of you is about to imbue your friend with unlimited knowledge and potential power. But you can only remain in one place. What is your choice?
And according to what the judge said, the selfish act is to return to the crow's nest, and the selfless act is to stay with OC. Correct? I just want to make sure I'm sure about that.
They're not as clearly defined. He wants you to witness both events, and then he wants you to make a decision at both. If you're right, the decisions are different if you remain with OC versus if you remain with the crow's nest.
Okay, I have a way of doing both of these things.
I'd love to hear it, because the choice will then be easier for me about what happens next.
Well, it really all comes down to what it always would come down to.
Which is?
Steam's sister. Sling provided something to Steam when she left. Something with which Steam has a link to a very special being. As Goat is still in the crow's nest, and as I have the spirit link with him, can I get Goat to warn Gillis and everyone that there is something afoot?
No. It's the instant, it's the choice, it's the price of the decision that is important here, not the ability to save. Your divinity is on the line, though.
Is Nye aware, or is everything frozen?
Everything is frozen.
Can even the spirits inside Nye, are they frozen like Mary and all them? He walks up to OC and stands right in front of her, even though I'm assuming she's frozen.
I'm sorry. I can't let them die. Not for me, but for you. For all of us. Be safe, OC. And if you can, come back to say goodbye. And he goes to the nest.
And in that instant, you are able to evacuate everyone through a hole, or the doors leading into the catacombs, the sewers. You're able to get the children out, even though they are still connected and in that particular situation, right? They're in that trance state. But you're able to move with some unfathomable ability to move them down into the catacombs and get them far away as the explosions go off and the Crow's Nest Tower falls. And when time begins to move for OC again, Nye is there, but Steam is gone.
And she still has all of this flowing through her as the woman is touching her face.
Yes. The memories of your life are flowing through, and they become very rich and very strong and very emotional and very it's as if the color saturation is turned up and the intensity is there. And so all of this is going on. You don't even notice that Steam has disappeared, but somewhere in the back of your mind, just for a second, you hear his voice and you are comforted, and at the same time, you feel alone. But the process continues. And the woman removes her hands and she says, "You are ready for the next." And so the process begins again, except this time you are now being infused with the memories of somebody else, on their spirit. But this is not like any possession that you've ever experienced, because it is not possession. It is almost the merging of your soul with theirs, as all of that information and all of those feelings and emotions, all of those bright experiences. And for you, it feels like an eternity. But it actually is only a couple of seconds, because it happens again and again and again. And you are infused with life after life after life. And after a certain point, you begin to see a narrative that really makes you uncomfortable. The sisters, they have been moving things into motion, putting things into place such that the world is the way that it is. The rituals, their dealings with chaos, all of it. They ultimately seek to remove something that they refer as the 6 and 20. And they have been murdering and murdering and murdering, and machinations and plots and plans. And so there are only a few left. There are only 6 as far as they're aware. And so with all of this, this information begins to infuse. We come finally to the 2 sisters. Those who extend back before the cataclysm. And it is then that you learn that they were the ones who awoken the demon princess in Aruvia. And that they were ultimately responsible for the way that the world is. And through all of this, it just continues on and on. It's just that overwhelming experience until finally you lose consciousness and pass out. Nyx, you arrive at the Archive of Echoes. Do you wait for Bowerstone to come in? Or do you just head inside and then expect him to be able to find you?
No, because he knows how he got in last time, and it was irritating, so he will wait for him.
Okay. So as you do this, or as you're kind of waiting there, you get the overwhelming sense of dread in your stomach, because the university is unusually quiet. Like there's no activity going on at Charter Hall at all. You don't, in fact, see a soul once you walk past the front, the front building, and even that seemed really vacant. And it should be a time when school is actually happening.
Is it literally quiet? Like there's no one around?
There's literally no one around.
And this is where he was told to meet, right?
He was told to arrive at the Archive of Echoes.
Okay. Shit. I'm gonna attune to like the ghost field and enter the ghost field to see what's around here, because if there's no people, at a minimum at this location, there should be some kind of spiritual activity, he would assume.
So there's a fair bit of spiritual activity, but all of them appear to be moving away from the Archive of Echoes and heading out. Like, there are spirits leaving the actual archive.
Are any of them recognizable?
No.
Okay.
They are just the random spirits that you have seen sort of loitering in the background who are working or doing things at the archive.
All right, so he's going to attune and, like I said, enter the ghost field. I can't really talk to spirits, but I am just going to attempt to anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to attune, and I'm just kind of going to look around and kind of quietly. I don't want to be shouting because I'm still in a public location. Where are you going? What is happening?
You can't feel his presence?
Whose presence?
You should run. You're
What?
mortal.
What
you
is
should
it?
run. Even to speak his name, you should. And just another one. And so you try to grab somebody else.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go down there. Pendrin's down there. His wife and his son, they stay with him. They show loyalty, but even his presence, and there's this inference of him.
Yes, I'm here for the Pendrins. Who is down there?
You should go. Just go. And continue on. And as you try to grab somebody else, you get the same basic thing.
As he's waiting, because I assume I have some time because Bowerstone's not here yet. If he keeps getting the same kind, excuse me, if he keeps getting the same kind of answers, he'll eventually ask one of them, "Is it chaos?" to see if that draws out a response.
You see disgust. No, and it's not even those despicable sisters that have been trying to gain access to the archive. He looks you directly in the eyes, and for the first time, you see the bright clarity of the spirit's eyes. And he says, "The Lord Inquisitor does not bring good tidings." And it just continues on.
Shit. He does not. That's inconvenient, Johnny.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's perfectly convenient.
You brought the self-hating vampire into town, you jerk.
I did that like episodes ago.
I know,
what
but he
you're
was
talking
doing
about.
he was fucking off doing his own thing. Now he's fucking up my thing.
Is he?
He is.
Is he?
I mean, I would assume so. Yeah, he's gonna wait. He's gonna continue to wait until Bowerstone shows up.
Okay, so Bowerstone, how do you arrive?
From the skies. On a retractable grappling hook.
I hate you.
There are not nearly that many tall buildings
I
around
wish we killed
Charter
you.
Hall University, but you arrive and you're all dressed up and you're leathered. And I assume that you enter at that point?
Yeah. Looking around for Nix.
He's standing there waiting for you. He's
Yeah,
outside
he's
the
waiting for
building.
you. It's dead. There's no activity at Charter Hall University whatsoever.
Sorry I'm late.
No, I think
It's
we're
tighter
right
than
on
I
time.
remember.
I have so many things to say, and so little time to say all of them. The important one at this moment is that an old friend has stopped by. You remember Chimes, right?
Vaguely. Why?
Well, do you remember the friend of the family the Vale estate had? Tall, gaunt, didn't say much.
He takes his mask off.
No, probably leave that on. So it didn't seem relevant, but it has come to my attention that that wasn't a simple friend of the family or a manservant as she treated him, but he is the Immortal Emperor's Lord Inquisitor. So either we're going to go do exactly what I need to do, or we'll both be vivisected. So let's see.
Yeah. Let's be honest, I can't even kick your ass. What makes you think I'm going to be any use down there?
Oh, I don't think it would be any use. I'm just letting you know that there's a high likelihood that we're both about to die. And if we don't go there and die, likely he knows who both of us are and will just come find us and kill us. So we might as well.
See, this is why you should invest in a mask.
He's seen
Nobody
you without
knows.
it, Raymond. You didn't wear the mask at the house. And you regularly put the mask on at the house. The point of
Not
the
very
mask
good at
is
timing.
not being seen putting it on.
Shh. I know I fucked up a lot.
That's right.
Let's go in.
Come on. And he leads him down into the Archive Echoes.
Just, we're good, right? This isn't going to be one of those things where I tried to kill you, I'm going to fuck you over with knowledge in a book.
I don't intend to kill you right now, and this isn't a trap.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes. The rumors abound about Lord Skurlock are quite vast. Either he is the only vampire, he is a vampire, he hates vampires, he hunts them. There's so many of them. All of them inconvenient for what's happening right now.
So I believe in the words of you, this is not a time for me to be me.
Right, well, if I had my say, most times wouldn't, but here we are. So, and this conversation is happening as they're walking down the massive staircase.
And so when you enter that room, or you enter the entryway, where there's usually the steward or the librarian or whatever, she is not there. She is, in fact, that area is vacated. And it is deathly silent, even for, the library, the Archive of Echoes. And so as you descend to those stairs, you hear one voice, and that is Lord Penderen's voice, and he is talking to somebody off to the side of him. And if you're attuned, you would see that he's actually speaking to Nicholas in his spirit form. And they're having quite a lively conversation, arguing about some point. But you are expected, so they see you begin to kind of step in, or they step down to the final step. Well, Mr. Desterosi, We didn't expect you to bring a guest, and under the circumstances, I wish that you had not.
You see, I drew the short straw. I have babysitting duty.
I don't understand what that means, but very well. Let us. I do not have much time to explain this. You understand the gravity of what you're asking. That we take you and we place you in somebody else. You understand the mechanics of how that works.
I believe I do.
And we spoke of a cost. Do you understand that do you remember that we spoke of a cost?
I do.
You hear a voice booming from behind you. Well, that cost is me. And he slowly begins to step around. It is nice to see you again, Mr. Bowerstone, Mr. Destarosi.
Skerlock?
That would be Lord Skerlock. To you.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna bow. I'm gonna fucking yeah.
I am not royalty, Mr. Bowerstone. If I remember correctly, you have accepted the birthright and call yourself Lord on occasion. Or shall I refer to you as Alderman? And you see a touch of a smile play across his face as he looks at Nick's puppet.
Whatever you wish.
That's what I call him.
As you can see, I am very aware of your request, and it is an unusual request. I want to know why.
Why I want immortality?
Why you choose this path to immortality.
Well, I've seen a lot of spirits, and I've seen what they can do and what they can't do, and I don't reckon I'd like that. I've seen what hulls can do, and I don't fancy being an automaton. This seemed to be the most appropriate path to keep my free will intact and be at least relatively corporeal most of the time. Although if you have alternates that are equally as powerful, I'm all ears.
I have chosen this life, and you are now choosing it. So I will explain the circumstances of my presence here. 100 years of service to me in exchange for me allowing this to happen.
And that service is?
Whatever I deem necessary. Mr. Destarosi, you are quite an intelligent man. You have enacted plans and schemes that even impress me, but that does not deem you worthy of immortality.
Man, I'm trying real hard not to be a smartass.
You should.
I should be a smartass, but then I don't want to have my throat torn out and eaten by a fucking monster man.
That's not how vampires work in this game, yeah. But if you wanted that to why not?
He looks to him and says, in my experience and line of work, you deserve the things you reach out and take.
That's typically the short game. I'm talking about the long game here.
As long as our goals align and you allow me to continue working my machinations as you have so aptly complimented, I don't see what befriending you could hurt.
This isn't befriending. We are not social. I am not asking you out for an evening of pleasure, nor am I seeking your companionship for the long haul. Let me be very clear. This is service to you, or service to me from you. You will do as I ask, when I ask, without question. In return, I will grant you the opportunity to do this. For 100 years, I will only ask when necessary. Once that is done, you may go about your merry.
He steps further into the room and says, immortality is a long time. I wouldn't dismiss friendship that easily. Stop making serious face at me, Johnny.
Is this deal acceptable to you, or shall we move along?
This is acceptable, as long as there is a way for my spirit to find its way back here. Once my body expires, it will not be here.
He reaches out of his pocket and hands you something, and you can see that it is a spirit vial, but it is of no make that you've ever seen before. This vessel will serve you well. Make sure that it is on your body when you expire.
Is that all? I don't have anyone that knows how to use this.
I will find you when the deed is done.
I believe we have an accord.
Do not cross me, Mr. Destorossi. And he begins to kind of fade back into the darkness.
Well, Raymond, we haven't died, so we win this round.
Lord Penderin looks up at you and says, "That's the most conversational I've ever seen him. And I've had to deal with him for years."
One time, Raymond flipped him off in a carriage.
Oh, is he gone?
He also snapped and told him to do something for him. And he did it, believe it or not.
Believe it or not, I used to have bigger balls.
You also didn't know who he was at that point. Right?
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
And with that, we're going to cut to Steen. Escaping through the catacombs with the majority of your brood. Not everyone made it out, but a lot of them did. Like, we're talking 95%. A couple people were lost during the explosion, and a couple people escaped towards the front. Where are you heading with your brood of the crows and the children who are slowly beginning to come out of their trance because they are no longer near the summoning, the ritual circle that was enacted?
He is going to. The majority of the crows don't live in the nest anyway. They live in Crow's Foot, but
right. But there was a fair bit of them at that time because of the circumstances.
We had circled the wagons, right?
Right.
I'm going to send them. I'm not going to split them up too much, but how close is the gallows respite to the what's the crows watering hole? The leaky bucket.
Leaky bucket.
Yeah, they have to be relatively close because Crow's Foot's not that big. Okay.
Right, and the Leaky Bucket is probably the largest establishment inside of Crow's Foot. Or sorry,
that's right.
Yeah,
because it's got what's his name's living quarters above it, right? Like the
right. Well, not only that, but it was also an incredible. It was meant as sort of a meeting place for the three factions that used to operate out of. Crow's Foot, right? So it was supposed to be neutral ground, so it was not uncommon for that to happen. So there was, it's probably the kind of thing that could serve 200 people on its floor, plus the living quarters above. Was not only for Martin Gold, but a couple other people. So
okay, yeah. So I'm going to send them to the bucket, but I'm going to send my most trusted people like Goat, Gillis, the old guy that's the historian Dahl, isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to take over control. That's what he does anyway, as far as logistics. He'll take over the crows at the bucket, and I'm going to send Gillis, Goat, and maybe like 5 or 6 of like the most trusted, have gone through the OC. You know, hey, you guys aren't bullshit artists or anything. I'm going to send them to the barge with the kids, and the kids are going to get inside the divinity church in the top floor of the barge.
Okay. And what's the goal to send them there specifically for? Is there a particular reason, or are you just for safety's purpose?
Yeah, nobody knows that, you know, only like 3 people know that the barge belongs to Steam, because he hasn't been there at all since all this went down with the crows.
Right.
Also, he is going to tell several of the crows or the homeless or whoever would listen to him that he wants to find out who procured the amount of explosives that would be necessary to blow up the crow's nest.
Right.
And then as soon as it is discovered, because you cannot buy that much explosives in the City of Dusk without it sending a flare up into the world. As soon as it does, he wants to know who it is. I already know who it is, but I want to know in-game who it is.
Well, do you want to do you go back to the crow's nest at all to kind of see what the result is of the whole thing?
Well, no, I'm going to stop by the crow's nest, and I'm going to go into the ghost field and track these fuckers myself, but I want Duskval to know who it is.
Okay. Well, so long story short, you do notice that, or you do find out, you know, from the rumor mill. I'm not going to make you roll this. There's no point in doing this at this point anyways, because we need to move on. You do find out that the Northwood Company just experienced a huge theft of explosives from their one of their warehouses in the docks. There was also a robbery of an adjacent building that included a fair bit of unique and unusual weaponry.
What
after
kind?
that point, mostly things that are mostly unusual archaic weapons, sort of like tribal or stuff that had been around for an incredibly long time. Essentially antique
Artifacts.
weaponry.
Yeah.
Or essentially antique weaponry that were basically artifacts, and there were a couple of firearms stolen as well. So when you head back to the crow's nest, how do you approach it?
Full visibility.
Okay.
I'm going to attune and view the ghost field and see what the recent echoes will be of the people that are planning the explosives. It should be, since it's so close, they should be looped already. I'm just going to say...
Okay, so when you get there, before you enter the ghost field, you notice that the Bluecoats are already starting to do their investigation, and that the Stonecloaks are actually joining in, because that's part of their job essentially. And you see that there's a couple of bodies that they are beginning to recover from the debris. One of them appears to have a sash wrapped around it, a red sash.
Okay. I head to the Eruvian Sword Club. I take the sash off. I walk right up by the Bluecoats, take the sash off of it, and head to the...
You discover that there's an envelope right there.
I read it, Johnny.
Let me give it to you in chat, or in
Yay!
Hold on just 1 second.
You want to go kill
God.
some more red sashes, Greg?
I'll take care of it.
Hey
I'll make
guys,
sure-
I
make sure
logged
it's
into the
done right
wrong
this time.
I logged into the wrong Roll20 instance. I'm sorry.
Well done.
Yeah, I feel like a complete noob right now. There we go. Hey guys, look at that. Okay, so coming into your thing right now. Greg. Okay, and while you're reading that, while you're beginning to read that, we're going to cut to, and then I'll let you decide what you want to do after that. We're going to cut to OC waking up. everything around you is. Did you get it?
Oh, the letter to. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and read that while we deal with OC. OC, you wake up. Everything is dark around you. Nobody is there. No spirits. The possessed bodies are gone. Can't hear you.
All right. I mean, I was gonna say it's nighttime, but it's always nighttime. Like, am I where I remember last being?
You are on the. You were essentially on the dais or the platform still that you were laid on, where you were imbued with all this information.
And is Nye still there?
No, she is not.
And Steam's gone.
And Steam is gone.
How fucking long was I out for? She's gonna take a walk around the property just because she's been laying there.
As you do, as you step farther and farther away from the tree that was essentially a spirit well, you begin to hear the voices inside of your head talking to you about the various aspects of the grounds. And sometimes when you look a certain way in a certain direction, you can see the mansion that used to be there. You can see the dimensions of it, what was going on in that particular point, at that particular memory, at that particular moment. And at first it's confusing, but then you gain the ability to kind of control it and to diminish it, you know, when you don't want to pay attention to that right at that moment. You're in control of the voices, you're in control of the memories. And so there is this just overwhelming experience of just the sense of all of this knowledge. And you get, for example, as you're kind of looking at the grounds, you're getting a memory that comes back to you that talks about, or that deals with the moment that the mansion was actually built on this particular property, and how it was built up, and the construction that was going on, and who were the sisters that were alive at that point, you know, who were, you know, a part of this whole experience, and who helped do the building, right? And then, you know, you're getting memories about the area around Six Towers when it was still a bustling, thriving, you know, neighborhood of nobles and you know, some of the first, you know, noble, you know, families of Dosqual. And so just as you're starting to get inundated with all this information, and you're just like, no, I need to figure out what's going on here, and it just clears from your head, and you come back into focus.
What if I think about my original question to the sister, and she was vague with me about killing Chaos with the light, and how we would ever get the, you know, daytime back to be able to do that?
That memory doesn't come up clearly for you. The memory of what she meant by that. What does come up is that you focus in, and you start to think about Chaos, and the thought process around that begins to coalesce an actual account that Chaos was actually attempting to stop the sisters from doing what they were doing. And what he did was he enacted a ritual. And he chose a group of various different peoples. And by various different peoples, you're getting words like dwarf, elf, dragon. All of these different just concepts in your head that seem incredibly outlandish and at the same time incredibly familiar. And they enacted a ritual to reverse death's door, because they thought it would prevent the princes from arising. And instead what it did was it locked them in place. And so Chaos has actually been trying to, in his own terrible way, reverse that ritual to reopen death's door, because for whatever reason, that's and they have been working to stop him. The sisters have been working to stop this situation.
So things stay as they are.
Yes. And that the last 6 die.
The last 6 what?
of what they referred to as the 6 and 20, who were the original members of who enacted this ritual to reverse death's door.
So if those people... I'm confused.
When you think about that, what you come to find out is that they are the last bastion of magic in the world that can prevent the sisters from reaching their ultimate goal, which is the release of the demon princess.
Okay. She's going to head back to the crow's nest to see if Steam left her to... Maybe they started the ritual.
And you find it in shambles. Steam, do you head off immediately after reading that letter, or are you lingering, doing more investigation?
I am going into the ghost field. I'm attuning and looking into it to see the actual people that placed the bomb. I'm ignoring the sash now.
So I'm just going to describe it from a meta purpose, just so that you know the lack of what you're going to get. You're not going to get much because they critted when they rolled it. When they rolled their engagement on this, they critted. So there's no way that you're getting this. You're not getting their faces meta-wise. But you are getting that there was 4 people, 2 men, 2 women, and that they intentionally placed the sashes all around.
That's okay. That's all he needs. As long as it's not a major concern for right now, we got everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
You got the majority of people out. There was a...
Right. This is, I'm... tuning to become a god here, so I can handle low-level street thugs at another time. So I will.
Yeah. Okay.
I will. I will think about it next time. I'm
Okay.
On the ship or something. Right.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you think you're going to be able to do to these low-level street thugs.
I don't know. What can a god do to a street thug?
In about 4 hours, but
We'll see. Okay, yeah, I would still be there. So if OC comes up for sake of narrative.
For sake of narrative, OC, you arrive and you find him standing in front of you, or doing his thing. And as you're walking through the town, you have this most amazing experience. Each time you look somewhere, you hear the voices and you feel the emotions and you see the memories playing through your head of this particular point, of this particular place. And so Crowsfoot holds a fantastic amount of memories. And again, you're having to re-exert your control over the situation to stay in the present, because sometimes you can get lost in it.
Okay. Once she sees that it's in shambles, she'll look around and just kind of... Can I attune to see what happened?
Oh yeah, you can see the exact same thing that he saw.
Okay.
And when you attune, the world looks really different because it just happens automatically, and it is bright and vibrant, and you see colors and displays, and it's an understanding of the ghost field that Steam never told you existed, or never implied, or anybody that you've ever talked to, the sisters never even let on. It's like they can see everything in a vibrant, saturated color scheme inside of the ghost field. It is very different than your experiences where you attune and the colors are very, very specific and very concrete. There is this nuance to everything. And I mean everything. And not only that, you can also see echoes from the long past.
Okay.
As you begin to focus, like you'll get into this, and you're thinking, you're doing this, and you're seeing the long past, your head begins to hurt a little bit because it's so overwhelming.
She'll probably make her way over if she sees him.
I know, right?
It wasn't the sashes.
No, it was not. They want us to believe it is the sashes.
Sashes aren't this sloppy.
They aren't as stupid either.
So what now?
Well, we can ignore this for now.
Where's Nye?
I don't know. How are
Fuck. I gave you one job. I'm not great.
you? I was preyed upon as soon as you entered the ritual by my little judge. He told me to come here and save the children or stay there and save you.
Please.
I chose the children.
Yeah, I knew you would, but come on. Like, take Nye with you. Babysit her.
They wouldn't allow it.
Oh,
I'm not sure what the rules are of this taxi cab service the judge was offering.
At that thought, Steam, you know that Nye is at the gallows respite. You just get a clear image, a picture of it.
She's at the respite.
you just said you didn't know where she was.
I didn't know where she was.
Listen, I'm also hearing things and seeing things, so we can't both be like this. This isn't gonna work. One of us has to keep their heads level.
Excellent. I will stop hearing shit then.
Great. You lost her again. She's just respite. Yes. Are you coming, or
Yes.
do you want to clean this up?
We'll do it later. This means nothing to me at this point.
The kids.
They're fine.
Oof. Good thing I don't have any of my own. That would be awkward. That was my last thought.
Well, to the respites, but until we go, how are you?
To the respite.
Great. Please act distant and, I don't know, interrupted and be real vague about the answers that I'm giving you.
I have millions of memories. I have people and memories inside of my head. And
Sisters is what you hear inside of your head. You have sisters.
yeah, well, I was going to say that, but I didn't used to be a sister. She just starts talking to herself. Anyway.
Excellent decision.
I have more information for what we've been talking about with Chaos, with... Fuck!
OC, we need to know about the pages to enact the ritual that Chaos was trying to enact.
Can I see them?
The pages?
Yes. It will help.
No.
Okay. Can I remember anything offhand based on like what the sister said in her vague answers?
Just what so there's a couple things that actually happen, right? The pages stand out in your memory based on what you saw previously, right? And you hear a lot of whispering in your head going back and forth as if there are conversations going on. And then you get this overwhelmingly strong desire. They want you to gain control of the pages. They want you to take it, the pages.
For what purpose?
You can't quite get a feel for what it is yet. It's not clear to you. It's almost like as if logic and reason sort of just vanished, and there is this absolute need for the pages. We must have the pages. And it's almost like this annoying chant that starts, and it's quiet and it's subtle, and then it begins to, it's just like this overwhelming desire, and it gets stronger and stronger.
I think if I see them again, as I have been doing around town, looking at different memories, echoes of hundreds of years past, if I could see them again, I might be able to figure it out.
I don't have them.
Figures. Nyx, I'm assuming. Also, can I tell if you're lying? Are you lying?
I don't have them.
Okay.
Nyx, as far as I know, Nick still has them.
They were left in the building. We left them.
Does Nyx have them, or were they left in the building?
You'd have to do a flashback because you didn't say that you took them.
Oh,
Would you have grabbed them when you grabbed the children?
Sure.
You're
Okay,
muted
but
for sure.
Muted.
What? I'm not muted.
No, him.
I'm muted.
I see it.
Yeah, I'll flashback. I'll take a stress and flashback to grab those.
Why? Does it make sense that you would have taken them if you were going to finish the ritual?
I don't think at this point it's a matter of stress.
No, it's just if you two left to go do your shit, I wouldn't have left them there. I would have taken them. I don't know these fucking crows.
Yeah. No, I just... Okay.
We were about to kill them a minute ago. I mean, a couple days ago, so... yeah. So yeah, I'll flashback and take those.
Okay.
So I'm telling the truth. From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view... Sorry, I'm going to start down that path. My bad.
Let's go find Nye then.
Johnny, as I have every conceivable, I'm looking into the ghost field, ghost voice, ghost mind shit. Can I hear any of this that's going on in her head? Because I would think that she is super fucking duper supernatural now.
It's part of me, though. I don't think you'd hear them, would you?
I can see his traveling companions, Nyx's.
So the traveling
It's
companions
different.
are different. This is very much akin to what's going on with Nye. There is this fusion that has happened between Nye's spirit and all of these, other entities that were with her, and in the same way, except that this ritual was enacted for purpose. So when you look at OC in the ghost field, you look at her and you see a radiant being full of color, and it's chromatic. It's just crazy and all over, and it's this swirling sort of mass. But you can see when there's strong emotions happening, and one of them that you're seeing is this desire, and it's like this orange that's sort of playing all around her, and it's this desire, and you can see that there is almost like this hunger. That's just sort of playing in the background. Sorry.
Can I still see her divine spark?
You can.
Good.
I just got smarter.
But it's tiny. It's really small. It's hidden among all of those other, entities, emotions, what have you.
Yes. Let's talk to Nye. Perhaps find Bowerstone and Nyx. Do you know anything inside of your expanded mind to help Nyx do what he must do? Or to help Bowerstone reintegrate himself?
Nyx is on his own.
Is he?
Yes. Absolutely. He's a grown man. He can figure it out. If he wants to become an undead, he is already on the path to do it.
At that, the thought about the undead triggers a fantastic amount of memories about Skurlock, and how Skurlock has been looking to thwart, to get in the way, to diminish the ability for the sisters to do what they do. And Skurlock is somebody that the sisters knew in life.
Would I know how to... If they're like trying to get me to do all of these things, would I know how to stop him?
Would you know how to stop Skurlock?
Like, would the sisters be like, oh, do this to him? Like, in my head, trying to get me to act out?
No, their desire, their emotional state right now, at the mention of the pages of the ritual, they want the pages. That is their desire. That is their emotion. But when you think about Skurlock, or when you think about the idea of Nyx becoming a vampire, all this information just starts to play in your head, right? It's overwhelming. And so with all of that sort of happening, you do get an idea, you do get an understanding of what it would take for you to stop him as a threat. But the sisters, with all of their power and influence, have never been able to enact that ritual to be able to ultimately, kill his presence, his diminish his ability, right?
Okay.
So it's a daunting task when you think about it. But again, that, and that flash forward, and it's just like, all of a sudden you've got all these memories, and then it just kind of fades back as the desire, that hunger for the pages continues.
Yeah. She'll look a little zoned out, dazed for a moment, and then look back to Steam. We may have a problem. Just remind me, Undead, Nyx, Skurlock, just remind me later. We'll circle back to this. There's a lot going on up here. Just, are you taking notes?
I can see.
Okay, good. Take notes.
Don't need to.
Okay.
Haven't yet.
We also haven't had this yet. So.
But Johnny, you did say I identified the color of the emotion, that orange color that's denoting some type of strong desire.
Some sort of strong hunger. The more and more you look at it, you can
Okay.
see that it's a pulsating hunger, within her. It's raw, it's primal.
Okay, what I want to do is, as we go to the Gallows Respite, I am going to watch and see how that changes when she sees Nye. I want to see the flutter, if there is any, when she sees Nye.
Okay.
Just
So we're going to cut to Nyx and Bowerstone. Where are you guys?
I would assume still inside the Path of Echoes.
Sure, that circumstance is done as Penderin just kind of looks at you expectantly.
Yeah, he kind of looks to him and says, well, it appears as though everything for our arrangement is in order, but I have brought you a strange side project. As you have no doubt surmised, despite the illustrious outfit, this is the Alderman. He's recently come under some kind of spectral curse. I don't know. He seems to exist both in and out of the ghost field. He actually has to, as far as he's explained it, right? Bowerstone, correct me if I'm wrong, but he seems to have to concentrate to stay out of it, more than concentrate to go into it.
Takes his helmet off and then he removes one of his gloves. And he just places his hand out in front. And then taking a stress, because he usually does 2 stresses, he puts it into the ghost field. Now that's me not concentrating.
Okay, so you're not going to take stress first off because it's just it's narrative, so it's not really it matters at that point. Penderin looks at you, looks back to Nyx. I've seen this affliction only once before. In a child who was incredibly gifted.
I don't believe this is the same circumstance. I think he's an idiot.
Oh, I'm with him on that.
Regardless. I must apologize. We can spend the time and do some research if this will help the alderman, of course. As a member of the council, I want the best from our civil servants. However, I do not know how to resolve this affliction. When this last happened that I was aware of, as we were doing the research, we brokered an arrangement with the Dimmer sisters, and they were able to solve this problem for us. But they never shared, as a part of the deal, they would never share what actually was going on or what was happening. And they just fixed it.
And what is your affiliation with the Dimmer sisters? You've mentioned them several times before about knowing things that you are unable to ascertain yourself.
When they were active and alive.
I don't rule that out.
Well, I'm aware that they're currently trying to imbue themselves in another vessel.
They're currently doing it.
Yeah, well, good. I look forward to working with them again on various issues. It is a tenuous relationship. but it serves ultimately a purpose. The Echoes represents knowledge, and they have it. And so we do services for them on time to time. And they share their vast wealth of information with us.
And their relationship to the Lord Inquisitor? Or is that just between the two of you?
That is also a tenuous relationship and conversation. The Lord Inquisitor has certain responsibilities, and they are counter to the needs and desires of the sisters. I do not... And he looks around, just making sure that Sherlock is not there. I do not publicly talk about my relationship when Lord Sherlock is around. But the sisters represent a fair bit of information for me, and so I must continue to maintain that relationship.
And a unity between the Path of Echoes and Dimmer Sisters would be a positive outlook or a detrimental one for the city?
That's a curious question. I don't ultimately have an answer. The sisters have their own purpose. They serve a particular path that is different from the Echoes.
Well, I don't presume to know exactly what's going to happen upon your untimely demise, but I'm a realist, Lord Pendrin, and in a few scant hours, it appears as though I will be the heir to the Pendrin estate. And a friend of mine, apparently, is the heir to the sisters.
What are you proposing?
I'm not proposing anything. I'm simply asking what would happen if a union were formed between the Path of Echoes and the Dimmer Sisters.
So let me be clear here. I'm going to make sure I understand you correctly. You're saying to me that you are in contact with the individual who will be bestowed all that the sisters have to offer.
Yes.
And you are suggesting that between the Echoes, as you will be responsible ultimately for everything that I have done, will combine with the sisters?
I'm not suggesting it. I'm merely asking what would happen if.
I don't think the sisters would particularly appreciate that.
I don't think
They
the
do
sisters
not
are going to
answer.
gain full control of the vessel they've chosen.
They don't answer all of our questions.
Again, I don't think...
We answer all of theirs. That should tell you the true power that they represent.
And apparently where I'm going to find my answers.
Oh, you're still here?
Quite. Next, if that will be all, I'll be heading out.
Where are you going? It's a curiosity. Babysitting and all that. I believe we're supposed to meet back at the tower. At your
Well, I'll
leisure.
see you at the tower. I'll see you at the tower.
At your leisure, Alderman. I'll see you there. Ever
Okay.
faithful, your servant, etc., etc.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I flipped off Sherlock once.
And as he goes to leave, he looks back to Pendrin and says, one more thing, sate my curiosity, Lord Pendrin. Lady Rowan, one of your companions, how long has she been possessed?
Noticed that, did you?
Oh, immediately, yes.
Yeah, we've been concerned about that for a while. As you can see, it's strangely quiet around here, but we all have our burdens to bear.
Is she going to be a problem?
No. She won't like the sisters doing what they're doing now. But I don't think you'll have to be concerned if your friend is as confident as you say she is.
If anything, she's confident. Well, then I will take my leave, and I'll send a missive when I plan to do what I plan to do.
Skurlock will find you. He gave you his vessel, after all.
That's what that is. Well, good day, Lord Vendrin. And he begins to ascend the staircase back to the tower.
And so we're going to cut to Steam and OC walking into the Gallows Respite. And there, seated at a table, enjoying a drink, is Nye. Not the body. Not the body she possesses. For OC, she sees Nye as she truly was 200 years ago before she died. Can't hear you.
In spirit form or in body?
In spirit form, but it doesn't appear to be any different for you. Like, spirit
I can't tell the
or
difference.
body. Well, it's not that you can't, it doesn't matter to you. You can tell, and you can tell that it is the body being possessed by a Nye in the conglomeration with everything else, all of the other
But I
spirits.
see her as she was.
You see Nye. She is the strongest presence there now. And for Steam, who was observing how OC reacted, there is a huge flush of... What emotions would you be feeling in that particular case, OC?
Relief and urgency and I guess desire. Like a strong desire to see if it's real or not. I mean, I know I could see her, but it's been how long?
It's been a long time.
What about
So-
love? Is love in there?
Yep.
So for Steam, who's looking at OC, that orange diminishes significantly the moment that she sees Nye, right? And it's slowly there trying to go back, but the play of those four emotions are different colors, and there are different responses from essentially the spirits infused with her form, and that orange desire, that need is there. It's still there, but it is suppressed given all the other positive experiences that OC is experiencing right then and there.
Okay, and the divine spark, does it grow or become brighter as a
It becomes
result?
brighter, but it does not grow.
He doesn't intercede or get between OC and Nye in any shape or form,
Okay.
but he does get as close as he can, and he whispers into OC's ear. Even if she's walking, he'll kind of trail her, and he'll say, "What you're feeling now is the only real thing you have left, OC. The rest is theirs. Hold on to this with everything you are."
She'll stop for a moment, not taking her eyes off of Nye, and just sort of backwardly put her hand on his shoulder. She's the only reason I am the way I am.
Good.
Do not fear. And she'll continue.
Steam is going to stay a respectful distance back.
Okay.
I'm just going to hold my hand out to her as I used to.
She notices you almost immediately as you step up towards her, and she takes your hand and she embraces you. And it is a warm feeling of security that you feel coming off of her. You feel that. You feel her emotional state. That you were there with her, and that makes her feel strong. There is a strong desire of love. There is a little bit of lust. There is a little bit of desire. But the majority of that love comes down to security. She feels safe now that you have returned.
OC's gonna feel a little bit of guilt for that.
And so as you know, that embrace lingers and then she steps back. You've changed.
This was the only way to get you back.
I'm not really me just yet. I was told that you would have one final choice. And at that, like in your head, snap, there is a moment of clarity about what she's talking about. It didn't play through your mind when you were getting all of those emotions, but it's like a stored memory of some kind or a stored conversation that pops up. And what you get is you have the opportunity to make a choice here. You can take her soul and the souls of Mary and all of the other spirits, infuse them with you to become one and share eternity together in that way. Or you can separate her spirits, have Nye back, just Nye, but it may make the process irreversible so that she can never be infused with any other spirit and always be separate from you.
She's gonna pull her to her feet while listening to all this and pull her outside and put a finger up to Steam like it's okay.
Okay.
If I weren't here, if I weren't around, how would you spend the rest of your days?
Days. I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't. I've been a spirit for so long. I've been moving from body to body for so long. I don't even understand the concept of time as a form of measurement. I don't experience the days. It's moment to moment. I don't know what you're asking, but I know in this moment I don't want to be anywhere else.
Let me ask it another way. Do you have any unfinished business other than with me? Is there anything worth living for, if that's what this is?
You won't like the answer.
I don't care. I want the truth. As always.
Well, if we're being honest, I have one thing I'd like to do left. And now that everything that appears to be happening in the world is happening, I want... Wait. You sound like you're finalizing things. What are you planning? What do you mean? Do I have anything left to do? What are you talking about, OC? What's going on?
I hear everything from the sisters. Times past, things that may happen, things that they want that I don't. I've spent all this time worried about myself, which got you hurt and took you away. I want to know what you want. It's not a trick question. What is your unfinished business? Mine was you, and now you're back.
Unfinished business? You're talking about ending it in some way. And when you see her come to that realization, for just a second, the eyes begin to turn a shade of blue and return back to the brown. I came back to you to be with you, but you're talking about it being over. No, something's wrong here.
Do you wish to join me, or do you wish to live separately on your own?
I wish to be with you always. I wish to be where you are.
That's all I needed. And she'll hold out her hand again and answer the sisters internally.
Okay. And what answer is that?
She would like to be fused.
So as that plays out in your head, there is a separate ritual that needs to be accomplished. And that ritual will be very much the same, but it is something that it has to be prepared for. So you need to prepare for that. And this whole complicated list kind of flows into your head. But as you have this going on, you see the flash of blue in Nai's eyes again. And then going back to brown. What are you going to do, OC? What's going on here? Why do you need my unfinished business?
Because I want to know if whatever you need to do, whatever is left.
I don't know if I can accomplish what's left, but if
Then tell me. Maybe I can help. These last few years have been all about me and my business and my friends and my ventures and the sisters. And what do you want?
I want peace. And in order to find peace, that means moving on. And in order to move on, that means helping Chaos finish his task. And at that, the cacophony of noise in your head just erupts. And you hear whispers, "We cannot let that happen. Damn this girl." And it goes on, and it's this intensity. And Steam, if you're watching, you see that need and that conflict erupt in her. And it is just a vibrant show of yellows and reds and a little bit of black. And that's when the divinity spark really begins to diminish.
He starts walking towards them.
He's gonna turn away from her so that she doesn't see it.
Okay.
Steam, there's something that we need to do, and it's tearing me apart.
I can see that.
Speak to Nai. I can't help you.
I will do the first, but I disagree on the latter.
I have been like this an hour or so. I need time.
Think of Nai.
I am.
Hold it.
That's why I'm asking you for this.
He steps over to Nai.
She'll go back in and in a loud, so and just drink. She just wants to be somewhere where it's loud enough that she can drown out the sounds and try to focus on,
So as you walk away and Steam begins to walk up to Nai, no, don't let her go. Where's she going? What's going on here? No, I need to get to her. As Nai tries to push past Steam.
He doesn't stop her,
but he does say, Nai, she is struggling. Do you remember what it was like when Mary and the others had full control?
Flash of blue. We're still here. Flash.
There you are. I missed you, Mary.
I need to get to her. We did this for a reason.
We did. She did. I think she was sold a bill of goods that included some interesting items. She's carrying a lot more baggage than just the promises that were made.
What do you mean? This was about the sisters promised us, and now
The
she's
sisters are
talking-
liars. Speakers of half-truths.
Of that I am aware. I have been in their service for a very long time.
Then you know that they have provided you with half of what they promised. The other half is tainted. OC is carrying that now.
So we're not to be reunited.
I do not think that's the case. I think that you will be reunited. But there's only one way to do it. Chaos.
She looks from you into into OC, sitting in the gallows respite.
Believe it or not, Nye, I want to do exactly what Chaos wanted to do. But I'm a step farther.
You understand what that means.
I do. One cannot get to heaven when the sky is closed.
She looks to looks to OC again. Let us begin. And we're going to cut to Nyx and Bowerstone. You guys left separately. Where are you heading to?
Crow's Nest.
Same.
You arrive first to find that it is in shambles in front of you, with a number of stone cloaks and blue coats kind of cleaning up the rubble and trying to to figure out what the hell happened here. And sprinkled among them are now some blue coat investigators, or some inspectors.
Oh, I'm gonna get blamed for this shit.
That's an interesting assumption.
You do realize you're still in full bomb.
Disappear into the alleyway. Suit it off.
So as you change back into the suit that is Raymond Bowerstone, you see Nyx also beginning to kind of stumble up towards you.
I'm walking up to the side. Know what you're thinking. That's not me. I had no part in that.
I know you didn't have a part in it.
You do.
Yes, I can tell when everyone's lying to me. That's why it so rarely happens, Raymond. That's why I catch you every time you do.
I'm gonna go speak with some of the officials. You best not be seen with me.
Yes,
go
of
and
course.
find...
I'm going to the tavern. I'll fill you in afterwards, I guess. Or I'll have someone do that. We probably shouldn't be seen together, you're right.
Do you think OC and Steam...
Unlikely.
Because let's be honest, I can't handle kids. Who looks after them if Steam dies?
I think it's OC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but she goes... I'm telling you right now, I can't even look after myself.
Well, that's apparent, but from what I understand, hookers are very similar to children in how you need to take care of them. So I assume she's the most equipped.
Okay, I'll meet you at the tavern. I'm going to go and speak with a few of the officials.
Yes, I'll meet you there. And he heads off towards the gallows respite.
And so when Bowerstone goes and acts as alderman and checks into the circumstances, you get that there are a number of bodies, 4 or 5, that were found. That one individual sort of just came up, stole something off of it, and walked away. But the indications is that there was an explosion set on the tower. A number of barrels of gunpowder were used. And that there were indications that it was the red sashes that were responsible for it.
The alderman in me wants to arrest all the sashes, but at the same time, I think I'd better go and see Steam first.
I mean,
so I'm going to look for.
You could swear out. You could, contact that one person that he happens to know by the name of Petra and swear out a war.
I could. She'd probably kill me. Is any of the crows there? Like
No,
Gillis or no one there?
The crows are lingering.
To the tavern.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that Nyx runs into Steam and Nye as they're finishing their conversation, so...
Yeah, he just kind of walks up and says, Steam, miss, I have interesting news. Is OC with you?
She has changed, my friend. She has more passengers than even your flotilla.
For better or worse?
Much worse.
Shit.
You can hear her inside yelling at people who aren't there.
Big shits. We are in a ton of shit.
Is she controllable?
Go ahead.
Perhaps the only one that can control her is Nye. And it's not so much control as he's talking to Nye as well. This is not around Nye. It's not so much control as it is a remembrance of who OC is or was.
He kind of looks, he makes the leap and kind of looks to the girl you're talking to and says, oh, you're...
Nye.
Normal, though? Or still... a little crazy?
She looks at you with these big brown eyes, just kind of unsure what you mean, and for a second you see them flash as blue. And they flash back to brown. As normal as we're going to get? Steam, what does he mean? I don't understand the question.
There weren't all of you in there before, and now there's a bunch of you in there. That's different.
We're always going to be here.
Oh,
It's more symbiotic now.
I was told OC could separate you.
It's not that simple.
Is it ever? Shit. Well, we have a lot to discuss, Dean. What is there something I should know before I walk into this mess?
We need to find out the fourth ingredient. We need to complete the chaos ritual.
Okay. I need to complete what I need to do first.
I'm not sure OC is going to let us do it if she loses what's going on inside.
I don't think I can complete what I need to after the ritual is done. I think it's that.
Would you like me to kill you right before it's completed?
No,
I
think
wouldn't
this...
do that. As Reverend pushes through, I still need him.
Alderman
That's-
Bowerstone, welcome.
Raymond. Nye,
Yes.
do you or any of your protectors know what the fourth ingredient is in the chaos ritual? Leviathan blood, demon blood, mortal blood, and...
Yes. I'm surprised that it's the souls of the innocents.
Define innocence.
Steam, I had a private meeting with Hocus a few weeks back, and I believe she means your children.
Children.
I'm not sure exactly what is happening to OC, but a similar thing, I think, has happened to Hocus, in a way. He has several lives within him. He can recall them periodically, and we performed some makeshift ritual that would allow us to relive one of them And one of them,
You were there? And she looks to you.
yes, you were like a barmaid or something, I forget. He came down from a castle, him and his brother. Short one.
That's... No, that's... I was never actually there. I'm over 200 years old, but you were there. You saw Chaos alive. You saw...
Yes. As a man.
Was there anybody else with him?
As I said, the short one. It was a woman. And I don't remember off the top of my head, Johnny, but he recalls the people he saw.
Right. So, as you're kind of saying all of that, they were sworn to protect the current way of life.
Yes, the short one didn't seem to like what Chaos was doing.
They fear the ritual because they tried to do it once and it didn't work.
I recall something about that.
Chaos got it wrong. And now...
How? How did he get it wrong? Nye. You're the key.
He got it wrong, okay? He didn't... He was afraid to use the children. Ultimately, he did not kill the children, sacrifice their innocent spirit. It was like making a recipe, but not by making, she names off some Aruvian, delicacy, right? Something that everybody would have because it's kind of a common thing around Doswell. It's like making that without the spices. It would be mostly right, but it wouldn't taste quite right.
Define innocence, though. Children, it's not limited to that.
Their souls. They must be untainted. They must not... They must not lose the spark of belief, of... The world must not take them and corrupt them.
How many?
There were 8, as he described it.
Do you need 8?
That's all I know. I don't know any more than that. That was what he believed would work, but it was at the... What was his name? The short one that you referred to, I think his name is Talk. He convinced him that the children, they weren't necessary.
What if you had one spirit that was pure and untouched?
I don't know. I only know this is from what I was to be, that spirit 200 years ago when he finally was able to assemble. But I had a chance encounter on my way to him. I chose this, you understand. He explained this all to me and I chose this. And then I had a chance encounter and it changed the course of my life. And I am the way I am because we failed then too.
Nix, they're going to be coming.
Conveniently or otherwise, and he glances towards Bowerstone, we have what I assume to be one of the most pure spirits in all of Duskwall.
Not according to my girls.
No. His sister.
Can you read lips, Johnny?
No, but that's the reaction that I had as well, which is beautiful. I just didn't say it out loud.
For fuck's sake.
Do it.
I don't know if you need 1 or 8, or some combination of all of them, but
Yeah. No.
I can't
No.
imagine one more pure.
No. No, we need souls. We need spirits that are innocent according to some type of dictum.
Yes, but that one has never seen any kind of corruption.
Neither have many in your flotilla.
No, they all have. I don't think you understand exactly what the flotilla did.
Even the children in the flotilla?
Everyone works.
I'm sorry. Am I going to be the same one here? Are we choosing children to pick
No.
off?
No.
Well, technically yours is already picked off.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This is the City of Dusk, and when we first met, I asked you one question. What happens when you die in Duskfall? Nothing. You stay here. We find the innocents that are trapped here, all of them, not 8, not 7, not 1, not 6 and 20. All of them. They are the gate. They are the key. They are the way to heaven.
And how do you propose we do that?
We call them. But they will come when they know what we are doing. The dwarf. I saw them when the Leviathan fell. They will come.
Nix leans on the door, assuming that it opens outward. He leans on the door and he looks to Nye and says, I've recently learned that a new friend of mine was around when you were alive as well, and I think it's going to be a problem, but how much of one I'm not sure. How much do the sisters hate Lord Skurlock?
It's a bitter feud. It has been going on since before it was dark all the time. I can't speak to specifics. I was never involved when I was working for the sisters, or in the time between my time with KS and the sisters. But I do know that anytime he was mentioned and I was in their presence, there was an intense hatred.
He looks back to Steam and Bowerstone and says, well, what I've arranged for is that my spirit is going to be placed inside of Nicholas Pendrin. So the body remembers much of the knowledge of Pendrin, despite my spirit and mind not doing a lot to it. And if what OC says is correct, I believe he was a professor of some kind of renown as far as the occult went. Perhaps he knows a ritual that could summon the innocent spirits. I fear that I will need OC's assistance with her sisters, but I fear they won't help me, as I have been pledged 100 years before Lord Skurlock.
Steam, have you seen her?
Have I seen who?
OC. Is she...
She's here. It's a matter of definition.
I need to see her. You're not the only one that needs help from the sisters.
She is
Well,
inside.
Let's not all bombard her at once. I think we should handle the most important matters first. I'll go first.
Of course, we wouldn't want to have the alderman being insane, especially when he's about to take over Northup.
Let's ease our way with the questions with OC before we go with the big Skurlock thing.
After you, alderman.
If there's a god out there, I need you now.
Johnny, I'm going to assume, because of where we are, that there's probably Stonecloaks around.
Absolutely.
He's going to look to any of them and say, anyone, press, city government, anyone else other than us is not to be seen in here. In fact, Raymond, Ali, could you clear out the bar? And he's going to have the Stonecloaks kind of clear out the tavern.
Okay, so as you're doing that, I have a question for OC, because OC is currently having a conversation in her head and yelling out loud and drinking at the same time. Can we get a sense of what's going on there?
So it wouldn't be anything. It would to other people look like she's either crazy drunk or crazy and drunk. But it's, more of the sisters badgering her. You have to go outside. You have to see what they're talking about. We need this ritual to end. Things, and she's just, listen, you promised me night. Now you're trying to make me make a decision. You can't all talk at once. And she's just getting more and more distracted as she has more visions and more things are coming back to her.
Right.
So she's not hysterically yelling. She's just raising her voice and shouting at. I would assume her table is just facing a wall and she's just pointing at the wall, just to gesticulating at the wall.
Okay, so as that's happening, the room is already starting to clear a little bit. So the Stonecloaks don't have much to do because they fear that there is an actual possession going on. A lot of people, the guests of the patrons of the Gallows Respite, and so they're already starting to exit as this happens. And so it doesn't take very long for the entire place to be clear. But you all can hear some element of this happening anyways as you're talking to Nine. So when you enter, as the Stonecloaks are kind of like exiting the last few, it's very few, maybe 5 or 6 patrons who were too drunk to just kind of, acknowledge the fact that OC was having a rather intense conversation with herself.
You're not the crazy one anymore, Steam.
I never was.
So I'm going to approach her room and gently knock on the door. OC?
I don't think she's behind a door, but...
I'm just inside,
cool.
sitting at a table.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to knock on the table. OC.
Yes. Raymond. I'm, well, you can see what's happening.
I know it's not fun times.
No.
Having voices at you all the time.
Yeah.
It can either make or break you. Take it from someone who's been there.
You seem better.
For the most part. Keeping a cool head and... Well, Nyx is a bodyguard. Always got to keep in check.
Is he?
We'll see. I'm being polite, OC. It's the new me. But anyway...
Looks better than the old you. The threatening business was... not you.
I feel rude asking. But I need help.
Okay.
And again, he'll remove his glove and show, you remember this.
Sit down for a second.
And he does so by her side and holds out his palm to her.
Can I try to, looking at him, decipher what's going on?
So as he does what he does, and you with the knowledge, for a split second, again, the conflict diminishes as the knowledge is there for your beck and call, and you realize what's going on with him. And so, as you're this is all just kind of kind of processing and overwhelming. You get a sense that what Raymond really needs is to die and be reborn. But it's not in the he has to die. It's violent death kind of a thing. His heart has to stop. Because that's what happened when he passed out and fell into this, is he stopped for a second. He died for a second and then was reborn. And as this plays through your head, for the first time, you feel a sense of warmth in your hand as it begins to tingle. You realize that you can send a shock through his body and then send another shock, return, and it will reset this.
And I'm sure.
And you're sure. You are absolutely 100% sure. And so mechanically speaking, this is Tempest.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You now get the ability to use that special ability, Tempest.
I still have that. I have that.
No, but this is like
that ability in Tempest.
Well, no, this is like complete control.
Okay.
100%. Just there is no cost to it whatsoever. You can call it at will.
You see a grin on her face. Oh, Bowerstone. We're gonna have fun. Stay here a moment. She's gonna jump up and go behind the bar. And if you look over, she still hasn't changed out of your shirt. And she's just leaned over the bar digging through things. And she grabs a rag and a bottle and looks over at you and then grabs a second bottle and just starts walking back to the table. Are you guys in there, or is it just Bowerstone and I?
I think we were just inside, weren't we? We weren't intruding.
Yeah, we let Bowerstone go in first.
Okay.
It's not going to be like the last time.
Do you trust me? With all of my knowledge and, before, it was touch and go there. Do you want my help or not? I need 100% cooperation if we're gonna do this. I can fix you.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, this feels like a season 3 fuck it. OC, I do trust you.
My first victim, just kidding. Lay on the table, please.
I feel like I'm in some fucking Borderlands video game. Sure.
She's gonna...
Steam goes behind the bar and gets a bucket or 2 of water.
Why do you get a bucket or 2 of water, just out of curiosity?
So I'm gonna kill him.
Randomly lights on fire.
Yep. I don't know what she's doing, but it certainly doesn't... I don't trust her to do anything.
Do I see you do that? Is it obvious that you're being loud and filling a bucket since there's no one else in here?
First off, Steam is never loud, and 2...
The bucket though, the water in the... would I hear you? No?
In chat,
Nix, get another artery.
In chat, Al said, unMadeGaming, get the human extinguishers ready.
No, we let them all go.
Good. Oh, perfect.
It's okay. Slade might end up being the human extinguisher if this
fine.
goes badly.
Oh.
So, for his own body. So she is going to, once he lays down on the table, prop his head up, give him a little bit of liquor, and then wring out the towel and stick it in his teeth.
Okay.
And just because she can, she's going to, with him laying, she's going to push his legs together and put her knees on either side of him with her hand.
Mm-hmm.
This is for my girls, Bowerstone, and kill him. And then quickly jump him back.
Hold on a second. So here's what happens when this all goes through your mind. The memory of the little girl plays through your mind that they saved previously. And you see her death and you see her being reawakened. And you do the same thing with Bowerstone. And at that moment, you feel the flames in your body begin to coalesce. But then you realize you can control them. Do you want them to appear?
She will materialize it in her other hand. she'll be able to focus it into
Right.
one spot of her body and just
Right.
hold it there until it extinguishes itself.
And as you awaken him, it's still there playing in your hand. Or as you shock him back into existence, into living. And it's still playing in your hand. No, you do not wake up like that. You are just like...
No,
are
sorry, there's a
shocked.
fly around my place. Hang on.
He's trying to swat it with a ruler. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. So as you do that, you don't even think about what you're doing here because it's like second nature. It's the fact that the flame is playing in your hands.
And she looks over to Steam. We're learning a lot today.
And it is at that moment in your head that you hear Takarosi. So easily manipulated.
Apparently not.
And that's one voice that comes from way far back in your head.
Lucy just has a laugh to herself as it goes out. She'll get off of him, pour a little bit of liquor on his face to wake him up, and then leave the bottle there for him to drink.
Raymond, your chest hurts really, 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 really bad. It's really painful.
Okay.
But you feel a new sense of calm otherwise across your body.
Could the voices be completely gone?
No, but they are manageable. They are controllable. They are, you can turn them off if you want.
Yeah.
So what do you boys have for me next?
Fucking warning next time.
You shouldn't touch my girls.
Fair point.
Had some.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you. You are supposed to remind me about him. What?
Steam walks just out of sword reach of OC and says, Caius.
And she flares, I'm assuming.
The
Internally hurts. Yeah.
What are they saying, OC?
I think you know.
I think I do too.
Well, then don't make me say it. It hurts.
Can you control them?
She takes a long gaze at Nye. I'm gonna try.
We have to finish what Caius started, or perhaps what Caius incorrectly did. We're going to fix the world, and I don't think your dimmers want that to happen.
And she feels it rising up. Do you need my help in this?
I believe so.
What?
The souls of Duskfall. All of them.
You want a ritual to do it.
I want to open heaven.
You can't ask the Pendrins?
And Nix has been looking out the tavern window, one of the windows, and you can see a person kind of ducks to the side, and he says, I'm going to make this very quick. I have some sort of message outside. I will be a Pendrin in a few hours. I will be the leader of the Path of Echoes in a few years. I'm sure whatever's buzzing in your head will be important eventually. I now work for Lord Skurlock, and excuse me, I have to go take a message. And he stands up and begins to walk out of the tavern.
At the mention of Skurlock, all of that comes back up.
Damn it, Nix.
I told you to remind me. We just had a whole...
We don't have years.
Fuck, I'm not even off the table.
As soon as Lord Pendrin dies, I take over the... It'll be fine.
Nix, look at me.
Yes.
Army of the dead.
Shit.
You're thinking
Yes.
small picture right now.
You all are thinking days when we have hours.
That's fair.
Listen, I have all of the knowledge of every sister ever from about an hour ago. I'm getting my shit together. Get your shit together.
Yes, well, give me 1 second. And he leaves the tavern.
Can you believe this fucking guy?
So out of the window, you can see him talking to somebody, and the three of you can recognize him as like a member of the homeless group.
Do you so OC, as this is all kind of playing on, do you dwell again on the whole thing about Skurlock and the vampire?
Because she doesn't remember.
So something you were talking about, you were talking about, earlier you were thinking about, and you were trying to figure out if there's a way to kill Skurlock, right? Like there's something begins to play in your mind about that, and what comes across is there is a series of relics that were created specifically to take him out.
Individually or as a group? Like in
individually,
sequence?
they were crafted over different times, and they were used on other creatures of his nature. But
Was one of them a dagger that was blue?
No.
Good. Whew, I'm not going to be yelled at for this one again. Okay.
That was a pole
One of them
arm.
happens-
That was
one of
blue.
them-
No, I meant the stabby
That
stab.
was black.
That was a knife.
That one of them happens. There's a couple, right? And all of them basically end up resembling something that equates to a stake involved with them. But they were imbued with an incredibly strong magic.
Would I know where any of those are?
You would know that a couple of them were in possession of the Northhook Company.
OC's just... This gets better and better. Steam, sit down. He won't listen to me. He's got his own agendas. So, Bowerstone, you want a drink? Another one?
Still on the same bottle.
Okay, come on. Join the conversation. So, and she starts describing the weapon, what it looks like, and where it can be found.
So when she describes it, it's the one that she begins to focus on is one that looks like sort of an axe, a single, a one-handed axe that has this really sharp, sort of elaborate blade, and on the end of it is essentially a stake. And when she describes where it was, Steam, it triggers the memory of the theft that had happened in the docks from the weapons repository right next to where the gunpowder was stolen.
I believe some low-level street thugs have stolen that artifact. Don't worry, we can collect it off their corpses if they intend to kill Skurlock with it.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, they should really leave it to professional. Not that the sisters have done it. Yes. Yes.
Delusions of grandeur.
Delusions?
Delusions.
Listen, you're
Anyway,
outside.
Steam.
Yes?
Bombs weren't mine. Just saying.
I know.
I could tell he's not lying.
I saw whose they were.
Apparently Nyx can do that as well.
You didn't know that.
Let's be honest, mate. I don't know a lot of things.
Of course you do, Raymond. And welcome back.
So, Skurlock is an issue. Let's table that for a moment. We're going to have an issue... Sorry, I get fuzzy every time I think about... And she's just going to look over at Nye. That. What do I need to do, Steam? The ritual? You said ritual. Ritual.
Yeah.
Would I know of any ritual to do that, Johnny?
To do specifically what? Draw
Draw on the innocent spirits.
all of the innocent spirits
In the city.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for a clarification from Greg real quick on what Steam means when he says bring all of them. Are you saying all of the spirits, or are you saying all of the innocent spirits that have died in the city?
I would like the latter. If I can't get the latter, I'll take them all.
So,
Also,
Anything that's not inhabiting a body, correct?
I got Steam has an idea. KS wasn't thinking big picture enough. He was limiting himself to the park. If it's too hard to get the spirits, I'm going to make the ritual circle the lightning barrier.
Holy shit.
That's
Like
right.
that.
All right, that's actually really good. And yes, so in OC's head, there is a ritual that can be adapted to do any and all of the above. It all depends on what the definition is that OC ultimately goes for.
OC would go for any and all spirits that are not inhabiting a vessel that died in the city or in the where he's drawing it, and ones that. No, that's it.
Innocence.
Innocence.
Uncorrupted.
If we can do innocence, if not all of them, fuck it. Anything that's not inhabiting a body. I'm worried about Nye, so anything that I know that would not affect Nye.
Any and all of the above, you do. But the more you think about it based on his request in the context of what he's thinking, the more resistance begins to build in your head, and the voices get louder.
Can I dull out those voices with alcohol?
No, but you can control them to a certain degree so that they're not a cacophony.
Okay.
I can show you a technique that you taught me.
Yeah, no. I think we're gonna... She's gonna start describing the ritual. I don't know that I can be much help other than give you the information.
Just get it out.
And when she does that, she describes it to you. It's in fits and spurts at first because she's having so much difficulty. And since you're attuned, you can see the conflict going on in her.
If that's the case,
every time she actually is able to get through it enough to give you more information, that's when you see the divinity spark shine brightly for a second. And then it's like that war and conflict again, right? But so every time a new bit of information to add to that ritual, the divinity spark just shines, and then it diminishes, and then it shines, and then it diminishes, as you can see the conflict going on in her.
and as soon as the conflict is happening, he kicks the table out of the way, pulls his knives, and attacks her. But not to kill, like they did when they were training. All those times. So I can
focus.
So she can focus and fall into the barge, the times in the nest, all these times when we danced back and forth and back and forth. And as we're fighting and as she's concentrating.
Can we roll it? Ooh, I want to beat you again.
No.
Next time.
Because there's something that gets triggered when he does that.
Fuck.
Okay. So ultimately your intent is not to kill. Is that correct?
Not me. No. Yeah. It's training.
Okay, you're attacking, right? All right. So this is what happens in OC's head, and then you can tell me how you're going to react to that. But this is what happens in your head. Things start to slow down a little bit, and you get to see all of the possibilities as all of the iterations play out in your head as you remember the experiences of fighting other people, and you see how his moves, and you anticipate almost like a chess match everything that's coming at you. If you remember in the Sherlock Holmes film, the fights that Sherlock would get into, Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Sherlock, and he would be like, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this. You are having that conversation in your head. That is playing out. And every time an attack comes in, you're like, well, I can disarm him this way, or I could break his arm this way, or I could break his legs this way, or I could kill him this way. And every time you consciously make the decision to not do anything other than just to defend yourself and deflect the attack. And for Steam, I'm sorry to say, she is easily deflecting every single attack. It is so easy for her that it's frustrating for you on some level, but you immediately begin to understand on some intuitive level what's going on. And so now she's Robert Downey Jr.
So now I can technically and for funsies beat him. Got it.
Just as long as she repeats that ritual several times, and I'm confident that that's what it is.
Right.
Good. I have it.
And as it just comes out, and you've got it. You know what you need to do now.
All good.
She's gonna grab a bottle and go sit with Nye. Just grab Nye around the waist and go sit down and keep drinking.
Nye is unsure exactly what's going on, but she's, again, the presence of security weighs overall as she just kind of leans into you. And you get a quiet moment. Does Nyx ever come back?
I was trying to give him a.
No, so you would see Nyx having what looks like, I mean, I don't know if you'd see it now that there's a whole big thing happening, but if you did see it, it would be Nyx having a heated discussion with what looks like a homeless person outside the window. And then the homeless person leaves, and like the camera goes to the window, and Nyx squats down, and as he does so, he attunes, and he quickly like looks around and sees that there's like a ring of stone cloaks, and he squats down and says, children, Tittle, Jot, I need your assistance. I believe your friend is back in town, and he brought an army with him. An army of ritualists and whispers. Tell him that we're going to try to return the world the way it was, and that we may need his assistance. You'll know where to find me. And then he stands and walks back in the tavern, or goes to walk back in the tavern.
Tittle and Jot immediately move off. And as you're walking into the tavern, there is a gigantic explosion from Charter Hall. As huge elements of debris are thrown into the air, and you can see the gigantic plume of fire and smoke. And you get a vague, kind of unsettled feeling as the ringing of the bell begins to chime, and you can hear it, Nyx. And it's increasing. And it's starting to get painful. And as you're looking in that direction, as it's starting to get painful, you can see all of the Deathseeker crows scattering to the four corners of Doskval. And a sense of dread comes over you as you get the impression that the crematorium is no more. And that's where we're going to end it.
Sweet.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I should have got taught by these people how to use bombs.
Maybe they would have got off.
So guys, that was the penultimate episode of 6 and 20 The Shroud. And when I say penultimate, I don't just mean this is the episode before the season finale. This is the episode before the series finale. This has been 6 months in the works. This has been fucking hundreds of hours across 3 different channels of role playing. To see the culmination of this is pretty intense. It's pretty awesome. So we'll go around to the actual mastermind behind all of this. Johnny, who are you? What are you doing here? And what have you thought of 6 and 20 so far?
You're here. You know me. You know what's going on. We do this multiple nights. The reactions are what I'm enjoying most to what's going on right now. I think you guys are fucking having a ball, kind of just playing with the nuggets of big story that are coming your way. And Greg, you made the choice that I didn't expect you to make. So I have one more thing I need to throw your direction after that, because it's going to be painful, and I'm loving every single fucking minute of this. This is awesome. So yeah, good game tonight, guys. I'm blown away. I'm impressed. You guys
Fantastic.
are fucking awesome.
Slade, you've received your life back 2 episodes in a row. Who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think about tonight's episode?
So yeah, I'm Slade for Credice Gaming, and I'm the luckiest player alive. It's where my character's died about 4 fucking fly. But yeah, you can put this bastard. Anyway, as Mike said, 6 months is coming to a conclusion for the series, and it's sad, but it's nice that the story's coming to a conclusion. So I'm looking forward to next week, and yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Greg, it looks like you are about to ascend to godhood. So let everyone know who you are, what you're doing here, and what did you think of tonight's episode?
Oh, I loved it. Grimjack21502 on Twitch and the Twitters. I had a blast. Next week's going to be interesting.
It's going to have a lot of obviously wrap up for everyone. It's going to be bittersweet. I love playing Steam. I'm not sure exactly how he's going to go out, but maybe I'd like to show Phantom how to use that lightning barrier the real way before we go.
Ooh, snap.
And there's that other group that there's like a third group. Anyway, I wish them well. I hope they're able to like really do something cool. It's memorable.
Yeah.
I've, but anyway, you can see me on. Here's where it counts. Meet me next week. I'm gonna be full crowed up, man. Let's do this shit. See you guys next week.
Fantastic. And Mr. Ninja, you have destroyed the sisters and become the sisters in a matter of one season. So who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
I'm Xmas Ginger Ninja. I run a gaming channel. I like to think that I played real hard to get for the first 20-some years of my life, and I got them right where I want them. They're just also real loud up here. And I got a fancy hat for next week.
Damn it.
Greg started this.
Is it a wizard's hat?
Hmm?
Is it a wizard's hat?
It's not a wizard's hat.
Damn it.
He knows what I'm talking about.
So, guys, we're going to go get out of here. We're going to go raid our friend McLoken. Go ahead and click on that raid button and join that raid. You can find us here tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Havoc at the Hinterlands. And if you guys are so interested, you can enter to win our super awesome giveaway from Elderwood Academy by clicking on that link and doing all the things. Retweet the things, tell your friends, everybody. And this Saturday, we'll have a 12-hour stream for charity, so come check that out. It's going to be an awesome, good time. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.